Welcome back, everybody. Today we're here to talk about The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 2, and do a breakdown of two sneak peeks we got. The first one was from The Talking Dead, which was a flashback sneak peek, which I absolutely loved. And then the other one was present day whispers and what they've been up to since, the end of last season. So we're going to go through both of these sneak peeks and break it down for you guys. Before I do begin, though, spoiler warning in case you aren't caught up with The Walking Dead. But with that being said, let's get into it. Alright, so the first sneak peek I believe is Alpha meeting Beta. And I'll talk about why in just a minute. But the synopsis for this episode did say that we're going to learn more about Alpha and Beta's past, which I absolutely love because I love how we're learning about the Whispers. And they're really fleshing out the Whispers, which is an awesome thing. But anyways, getting into the sneak peek, it starts off with Alpha and Lydia. And we have young Lydia here, and they're trying to escape these walkers. And they're just trying to run away, and all these doors are locked. They eventually get to this door that is unlocked, and they open it. And successfully they get inside and away from the walkers. And once they get inside of the building, Lydia, she says that I'm sorry to her mom. We don't really know exactly what happened before this scene, like why are they in this situation, run away from walkers. I'm assuming, and then like Alpha does kind of yell back and says like, you almost got us killed and stuff like that. But I don't really know what Lydia could have done that got them in this situation. We'll see if it even is Lydia's fault, or Alpha's just the type of person who just blames everything on the daughter and just someone like that. Because even in that last season we had that flashback episode of Alpha, we kind of saw even in the early days of the apocalypse, she was very, she had a lot of anger inside of her, and she's always sort of been like this. So that's really interesting to me. And this sneak peek, or this flashback episode, or flashback sequence I should say, the whole episode is in a flashback. We're gonna get to the second sneak peek in just a few minutes, but this flashback sequence looks to be a few years after that. And yeah, you can definitely tell the type of person Alpha is, yelling at her daughter even in the early days of the apocalypse. So I just think she's always been like this, but the apocalypse definitely totally corrupted her mind, and now she's turned into the person she is. So I am very excited to learn more about them. And the synopsis also did say that in this episode we're gonna see them actually forming their herds and stuff like that. So I actually think we're gonna see them become the Whispers. But talking about the Beta thing, after while Alpha's sort of yelling at Lydia about getting them in that situation, Lydia kind of just stops and looks over and says that someone's watching them, and Alpha turns around and it cuts to this person. And I love this cut, super creepy, just all the way in the back, just standing there I don't know, it kind of reminds me of Michael Myers or something. But this could be Beta. I mean, I think it's Beta. It would be awesome if it's Beta. But that is where the sneak peek ends, so we don't really see if it is actually Beta. But I think it is. I think it is gonna be Beta. And there's also a very loud sound effect as soon as they cut to Beta. It just makes a sound effect, which I absolutely love. But you can see how tall this character is. That's why I'm assuming it's Beta. The face is already covered though, which is interesting. And Beta is famous for, just covering his face and stuff like that. He's one of those Whisperers that never takes off the mask. I mean, we've already seen Alpha take off the mask, Lydia, some of the other Whisperers, we've seen them take off the mask. Gamma's going to take off her mask. All these Whisperers are taking off the mask except Beta. So, I mean, that's interesting also to me, if maybe he's hiding something or is just part of his character. But even here, he's not a Whisperer because he's wearing jeans and boots and a jacket, but he still has the face covered. So that's interesting to me. A little theory I did have is maybe because in the comics Beta's a basketball player, he's famous. So in the TV show, I guess that's not really that important, his backstory, his pre-apocalypse occupation. But they're probably just gonna do the same thing, because I don't know why they would change a pre-apocalypse occupation. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But if Beta is a famous character, if he was famous before the zombie apocalypse started, maybe that's why he covers his face, because he doesn't want people to see him or something like that, or recognize him maybe, and be friendly and start a conversation with him, or want to hang out with him because there's nothing else to do. I don't know, but that was something I was thinking about, because we don't really explore to seeing it actual on screen. We have hints of the backstory in the comics and stuff, but actually seeing it on screen like this and seeing him covering his face even before he became a Whisperer, that kind of makes me think that maybe he doesn't want anybody to see his face because either A, he's hiding something, or B, he's a famous character and doesn't want people to recognize him. You guys let me know in the comments down below, why do you think Beta is hiding his face? But it does look like we're gonna get Alpha and Beta meeting each other. So again, they don't really do this in the comics, so that's awesome how they're doing it in a TV show. I think they know fans really like the Whispers, so they're really exploring them more. But we're speaking of Beta, the next sneak peek has a lot to do with Beta also, because it does look like Beta will have some internal conflicts, in this season. We know how much he respects Alpha and stuff, and I'm also very interested in seeing that. Like, what does Alpha do to show her dominance against this guy who's like 7 feet tall? Because in the next sneak peek, it's like present day Alpha and Beta, and we have Beta, shaving Alpha's head for her. So everybody really respects Alpha. Obviously, she's very dominant, but I'm excited to see, seeing that actually grow and us watching that happen. That's going to be awesome to see. So yeah, the next sneak peek pretty much takes place present day, and it is Alpha and Beta, and they're just talking here. And this is this is probably going on while the events of episode 1 is happening. Because in the trailer for this episode, we saw the satellite crash in the background of the Whisperers, so they're probably making their way back. But Beta wants to go back right now because he's scared that they're not going to be scared anymore. He's saying the fear will subside, we are far from the enemy. And then Alpha says there needs to be more gathering, more guardians to be found. And I'm pretty sure they call walkers guardians, if I'm not mistaken. I do remember that was a name of the episode last season. So right now they're making, they're just trying to gather, I think, a lot of walkers. And we saw how many walkers they have because last season, she showed Daryl that, that humongous horde of walkers. And I'm pretty sure they're going to come back and use that. I really do. I don't think, she was going to show that to Daryl for no purpose. I think that was a threat, and when the Whisper War starts, they're going to really use that because that's something about the Whispers, not only do they have knives and they can camouflage with the Whispers and stuff like that, or camouflage with the walkers and just kill you, when you're killing some walkers, they can actually bring a bunch of walkers to your home. And I think they're going to do that. I'm pretty sure they will. In a lot of the trailers that they released and a lot of teasers they were releasing over the summer while The Walking Dead was on break, we saw a lot of clips of walkers breaking down walls and stuff like that. So I do think Alpha's going to keep her a threat and, pull through with that. And, it's going to probably damage some communities big time during the Whisper War. When Beta also says that we should go back because we don't want the fear to subside, Alpha says that they will always fear us for what we did. So that's interesting, and she's actually right, because we can see how scared people are. Really, they still think about the Whispers. They have that whole lockdown situation, which is something they've never had before. So Alpha is right, that what they did had a huge effect on other characters. And I'm interested to see if the Whispers have done this before, this whole Pike situation. Have they run into other communities? Because there's a lot of communities out there. We know how big the Walking Dead universe is now. And we saw, that, and since they're walkers, they pretty much travel by foot. We saw that, they just, the storm hit and they just traveled by foot and went far away. So that, somewhere they can, be safe, because they sleep on the outside, obviously. So that's going to be interesting to see if the Whispers have done this to other communities. We could potentially learn that in one of these flashbacks. Alpha also says, "Do you doubt me?" which is an interesting line. Now, she says it casually, and Beta says "No, I don't doubt you." But I think that line has some importance to it, and I think Beta could potentially be causing his own downfall eventually. Because after that, Alpha says, "Take the sisters when you depart. They have a good scent for the dead." And it cuts to Gamma and this other Whisperer. So obviously she's telling Beta to go out and get walkers. They're trying to build, I think, their group and head out, and they need walkers to do that. So that's interesting to me how, Beta's a little bit he wants to say stuff and suggest stuff. And then when Alpha just says no, he just takes it. But I do think Beta is gonna cause his own downfall, because I talked more about this in my breakdown for the episode 2 trailer, if you want to go check that out on my channel. But Beta has a problem with Gamma, and it's pretty clear based on that trailer. He even complains to Alpha about her. So We'll see if that comes back and, you know, is the cause of his downfall because maybe Gamma's getting too much praise. Like, there's not even a Gamma in the comics. It's only Alpha and Beta. So now they added the Gamma, Alpha, Beta, Gamma. You know, maybe Gamma wants to work her way up to Beta and be a Beta, and, you know, maybe Beta feels threatened or something. I don't know. But I do think, you know, that line has some importance there. And we're going to learn more about it throughout the, you know, season, obviously. But Beta could potentially be causing his own downfall here. You guys let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about this? Again, I talked more about this in my breakdown for the episode 2 trailer if you want to go check it out. But that is where that sneak peek ends, so I am going to wrap it up there for this video. Again, let me know in the comments down below all your thoughts and opinions, your Alpha and Beta theories. What do you think is going to happen in this season? Let me know in the comments down below. Again, I am going to wrap it up there for this video, so hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating. And for more Walking Dead videos just like this, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys later.